and we're getting details on a new effort to tackle the crisis. There it is again, $14 trillion behind us. Senator Tom Coburn of Oklahoma is a Republican on the Senate Finance Committee. How you doing, Senator? And welcome back here to America's Newsroom. What do you hope?
I'm doing fine, and thank you.
You bet. What do you hope comes out of that hearing?
Well, look, the results of the hearing, the American people already know. That there's a ton of waste, there's a ton of fraud, and there's a ton of mismanagement. So we'll get to see the details of that. The question is what is Congress going to do about that? We can have all the hearings we want. What we need is the hard work of oversight and eliminating the duplications that we have within the federal government.
How much do you think we could save? Are you talking billions or tens of billions,
I think you could,
billions?
If you combine waste, stupidity, fraud, and abuse, I think you could eliminate $350 billion per year.
Right now?
Right now. Matter of fact, I know you could eliminate $350 billion per year.
Where do you get, look, Bill, where do you get it, Senator?
Well, take, for example, we have 105 different science, technology, engineering, math programs to incentivize that. 105. Why do we have 105? Not one of them have a metric on it. We don't know if any of them are working. We have 47 job training programs. We spend $18 billion a year. All but 3 of them overlap with one another, and they're across 9 different federal agencies. Why don't we have 1 or 2 job training programs with metrics on them to see if they work, and we could do that for half the money? So, I mean, and I can give you hundreds of examples just like that. So the question is when is Congress going to start doing its job of oversighting and eliminating the duplication, eliminating the fraud, and eliminating the abuse that are in these systems?
What about
at least $80 billion in fraud? I'm sorry?
What about the stupidity? How do you eliminate that?
The stupidity is lack of leadership to put people where we should be doing to save the money. And whether if we don't have any leadership at the White House in terms of the problem that we have today, in terms of discussing with the American people the severity and urgency of the problems that are getting ready to face us. And number 2 is we don't have the leadership in Congress that says we're going to systematically go through this.
You know,
March 1st,
I think you're wrong on the American people. I think they're well in tune with what's happening.
No, I wasn't talking about the American people. You misunderstood me. I'm talking about the people in Congress. I'm not talking about the American people. The American people are far ahead of Congress. They'd like to see this $350 billion taken out. That what their question is, why haven't we done it already? Where is the oversight? Why are you continuing to not do what is necessary to fix our country?
Oh, good point, Senator. You're working with a bipartisan commission there on the Senate side. You're now targeting 4 areas: a tax code overhaul, spending cuts, many of which you just outlined here, changes to Medicare and Medicaid, and also changes to Social Security. I understand your strategy and what you're doing. Are you also communicating with the leadership on the House side to make sure that that the 2 can get together? You can send something to the White House, then we can bring you back on TV and say mission accomplished.
Well, I think number 1, it's unfortunate that was out there. It's not necessarily accurate, I can tell you that. Number 2 is whoever leaked that would like to see us fail rather than to see us be successful. Our problems are so great, Bill, that if we don't address every area of them and we do it in a relatively short time, somebody else is going to be telling the American citizens what's going to happen to the future, and it isn't going to be their own Congress. It's going to be the financiers of the world. And that's how serious our debt is. There's lots of conversations going on at lots of levels. And I would tell you that we're not working in isolation, and we're trying to accomplish a solution for the country that's going to require this. There's nobody that is not going to have to experience some pain if we're to get out of the problems we're in, because we've been living off, for the last 30 years, we've been living off the next 30.
Senator, thank you. Tom Coburn.
You're welcome.
We'll speak again.
Good to be with you.
Appreciate your time. Right.
You bet.
Well, it had been a town tradition, really, for decades. They would say the Lord's Prayer before every council meeting.